Hey everybody, this is part two of me just having a general conversation about the Matrix. I apologize for the uh, the interruption. It's fine now. I just had to relocate a little bit. Um, a lot of times, if I'm filming somewhere and if somebody needs, the area, I'll oblige them. I didn't really have to leave, but I just prefer to do my conferences with nobody around. But anyway, you guys, I was talking about food stamps, and I know somebody probably saying, "Okay, now why are you talking about food stamps?" And you know why? Because it's part of the matrix, and because the purpose of food stamps, when you really think about it, is people taking what God Almighty created, which is an animal, killing that animal, taking resources out of nature, and packaging it, slaughtering the animal and washing it and packaging it and placing it inside of little buildings or big buildings or whatever, and then deliberately placing the majority of people in poverty by hogging all the money, which ain't worth nothing no way, but that's just another created thing to for control and to give the illusion of wealth, and take that and then have people work at different places for a very low pay that does not meet the requirement for to live a prosperous life on earth, and then they place people in poverty so that they can come and apply to receive a card. Well, it used to be paper. It used to be like something that was like a, I want to say the ghetto version of money, but Lord have mercy. Oh, sorry, y'all. The ghetto version of money, so it looked like fake money, but they used to call it food stamps, and I think they were, I don't know, it was like little paper money or something. And then the Matrix went from that into a card, which they now call an EBT card. And so now they say, okay, well, now there's money on here, and you can go purchase food to eat because you're not going to make enough money on your job to buy food, pay your mortgage, your car note, clothes for your kids, and whatever else, go on vacation and buy food at the same time. Because, okay, again, there's some level of control that must be kept to keep you bound in the matrix and blind to what's really going on. So now you get this card and people say, oh, well, there's money on it. So now I can go buy whatever. And you go to the store, you get in line, and then people try to make you all feel some kind of way about swiping the card. Now, wait a minute. It's bad enough that, number one, you're not being paid enough to buy your own food. Then you got to go somewhere and get a card that says, well, it will buy your food. And then when you get to the grocery store, people looking at you like, well, what you doing here with that card? Do y'all see the mind game in this matrix? To just beat somebody down, to beat you all down psychologically in every way. Because now there's a psychological aspect to a food stamp card. Because now it's giving the false projection that you all are poor when you're not. It's giving the false illusion that, where he can't even afford food. She can't even afford food. They can't even afford food. When, to be honest, well, I guess they could be able to afford food if all the money wasn't going up in space looking for a God they only going to find through Jesus Christ, I suppose. I would assume. Maybe I'm wrong. But looking for something. If not that, Lord forgive me, if not that, for something. You can't get to God on no space shuttle. Jesus Christ says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. It's mighty funny. They trying to fly up, but they ain't trying to drill down. I know that must have somebody believe in hell. But look, anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But let me tell you something. It's all a mind game. It's a mind game. Because now people want to look at you some kind of way and make you feel some kind of way. And then you all may go in the grocery store and maybe a cashier's looking at you funny. And I can guarantee you that a lot of you with those cards, you make more money than that person standing behind the counter. You make more money than them. but perhaps you have more responsibility than they have, because maybe they're still living at home with their parents, maybe they're shacking up with some man or shacking up with some woman, or maybe they are living out on the streets or living in a shelter, and they know you don't know it. So now they want to look at you some kind of way for swiping a card that they know they themselves need. Can y'all see the mind game? Free your minds and the rest will follow. And so let me tell you, so you swipe your cards and you pay for your food, and then for some reason, a lot of you feel discouraged. You feel like, oh, there's some type of shame to the card. Well, why? Because the benefits that you are getting off of the card, that's your own money anyway. That's your tax dollars being recycled back to you. You understand what I'm saying? You better see the game. A lot of you already know it. But people want you to feel some kind of shame about it. But I would say, hey, if they give you 50 food stamp cards, take them 50 food stamp cards. This is what I would do. I would distribute 49 of them cards to whoever wanted. And I would say, go in the grocery store and go crazy. Go buy whatever you need, whatever you want. Because it's your money anyway. For the working class, it's your money anyway. How is somebody going to make you feel some kind of way about spending your own money that was taken before you could even swipe your debit card or cash your paycheck and put it on something and say, now I'm going to give you an allowance as it pertains to what you can and can't buy, and give you an allowance as it pertains to how much food you buy and how much you can and can't buy. From animals that God created, from resources taken out of nature that God created, from fruit that God created out in nature, free and wild. But now people got to take it and package it and try to make a profit off of God's handiwork. My God, my God. If this world ain't a setup and a hot mess, a hell hot mess, then I don't know what it is. Don't you ever feel some kind of way about twirling a food stamp card between your fingers. That's your money anyway. And it's not money. It's just some type of access that you have to food. Money can't be on a card. You either got money in your hand, it's paper, or you don't. And if it's paper, it don't mean nothing. And if it's on a card, it don't. If they call it to be on a card, that don't mean nothing neither. It's all a mind game, because food ought to be free anyway. Period. How in the world you gonna take something God Almighty created and then have people die of starvation and say, oh, well, you can't afford this, when food is a necessity of life? Or even, like I said before in the part 1 of the conference, take an animal that God created, and just because this group of folk prepared it this way and that group of folk prepared it that way, they put a $200 price tag on it to buy that plate, and that this one you can go get 5 for $1. You know what? Let me tell you something. This world is just as sick, twisted, and backwards as it could be. As it can be. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. That is foolishness. But it is all a part of this matrix that you're in. We got so many trees on this earth, I bet nobody even knows how many. We got carpenters in this world. But people cannot come together collectively to build affordable housing. No, they got to build something that they said, well, we're going to put a $500,000 price tag on, and then we're going to pay you such an hour. Now, if you cannot afford that house, then you're going to have to go over here and live in this ragamuffin neighborhood where you got to watch your back. You got to walk around with guns. You got syringes all on the ground. You got people walking around like they don't care. They done lost their mind. They dirty. They don't care. What kind of world is this? Have y'all ever really just thought, what kind of world is this? What is this right here? You know, I mean, it's not funny. I'm just saying, gosh, Lee, it's the in spite of it all type thing. It's, you know, it's like this world it's such a setup. But once you free your mind, then everything around you will let up. There's nothing more dangerous than somebody that has been set free and delivered. That's a free thinker. That's somebody that God Almighty can talk to, and God will say, you see it like I see it now. You know what I'm saying? Worldly foolishness, worldly folly. But in Satan's world, nothing is going to make sense. Nothing. A food stamp card. A food stamp. I got an EBT, electronic benefit transfer. I think that's what it stands for. No, honey, what you got in your hands for a lot of you is money out of your paycheck that is being distributed to you in portions. You're given an allowance from the fruit of your own labor. That's the money game. That's that EBT setup mess. Rise above it. Rise above it. See it for what it is. Why not swipe your card? It was manufactured from your tax dollars. Why not buy food with the card? What you can obtain as a result of it came from your tax dollars. It's recycled. Your labor is in that card. Swipe it with pride. It belongs to you anyway. It's just somebody rationing it out to you, telling you how much you can and can't utilize off the card. Am I talking this thing out today? Somebody going to be set free and delivered today. You have no reason to hold your heads down. Even for those of you that are in the matrix of this public housing thing, let me tell you something about public housing. Control. Because when your income go up, so does the rent. How can you ever get ahead when you move up, it move up? You move up, it move up. Come on now, see the mind game. People want to keep you in poverty so that they can keep themselves in wealth and power. Am I talking this thing out today? It's all part of the matrix. And then put you in bad neighborhoods with bad characters. People that are beneath you. People that are scum buckets. Breaking all in your houses or wanting to. A lot of you walk outside your houses, you don't know if you're going to make it back or not. You walk down the street, you got to be strapped. Because you don't know who else is. Who might want to blow your brains out because they are not enlightened. They don't know what you know. They don't know it's all a mind game. They don't know that it is the external factors that's the enemy, not the internal factors. They don't know to embrace your brother and war against your enemy. They don't know that. They just don't even know. They don't know because they internalize their pain and their anger and their rage because of what life has dealt them. Instead of saying, come on, brother, let me pick you up and we work together against this thing called enemy. Because there's strength in numbers. But see, when people are weak-minded and other people know they can play a mind game with them, they've got you bound. But when you begin to allow God to set you free, you become a huge threat in this world. Because they know that you were blind and now you see. That's what they know. And that's what they hate that they know. Who? The powers that be. The people that manufacture all this stuff. And you got to suffer through life. Life is hard enough as it is. Without somebody trying to hold you down, you all down financially. Of course it's going to affect your spirit. Of course you're going to be depressed. Of course you're going to be emotionally drained and look for happiness and joy in other things. Get lost in alcohol and drugs. Of course you're going to seek chemicals because you feel like, well, this chemical can numb my pain. But as a result of you trying to run from something that's destroying you, now people place on you the term drug addict. Drug addict. When all it is, you're trying to escape the matrix. They'll place on you the term drunk. When all it is, for a lot of you, you're trying to escape the matrix. Let me tell you something. You will never escape the matrix in its entirety after you get to the other side. But you can escape it mentally while on this side, as long as you know what it is. You don't have to prove to nobody else what you know. But as long as you know that you know, then you are free from this matrix. And it can have no power over you. And well, when people step into the realization that they don't have any power over you, they don't like you. They don't like you and they want you gone. They want you to shut up. They don't want you to enlighten others. They don't want you to open the eyes of others. They don't want you to open the ears of others. They don't want people to have comprehension. They want mindless dummies walking around on this planet. And I'm not in no way, shape, or form calling anybody a mindless dummy out there. For whoever the shoe fit, take it how it resonates. And that's no insult to somebody who has fallen victim to the matrix. By mindless dummies, I'm talking about people who I'm hearing the word serve as test dummies. Because that's what you're singing as in a matrix, in a maze. It's a project. You're considered test dummies. You're not dummies. But some people really are dummies out there, y'all. Let's just keep it real. I know many of you out there, y'all know some dumb people. Let's just keep it real. No matter what you tell them, they don't believe it. It's in plain sight. They don't see it. And even when you show them, it's right there. It's right here. This is what it is. They'll call you a lie and exalt themselves to be a wise man or a wise woman. Well, if a fool want to play a fool, let it be a fool. But it ain't no fool like an old fool. Am I talking this thing out today? The sooner you open your eyes as to what's really going on around you, you will be set free and delivered in your spirit. No matter what goes on around you, you are free. Things don't affect you the way it affects other people. Even when you turn on the TV, the matrix of that, live vision, it won't affect you like it does other people because you're not being programmed. You're being deprogrammed by isolating yourself from things that are set before you to control you. Okay? So with that said, God bless you all until next time. I hope something that I've said has helped someone out there. Bye-bye.